Hey guys, welcome to Red's Projects. Today we've got the Navara on the hub dyno, which I'm very excited about. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and that's because mainly since I've turboed it, this thing's been like street tuned and it's always been half-assed, and my fuel table looks like dog shit, and it's not very nice transitioning from cruise into boost, and it's never been really nice. So I finally got a set of injectors that I'm happy with, because I had 370cc LS3 injectors. They were a little bit small. I put 1000cc injectors in it. They were a bit big. I couldn't get the idle to idle cleanly. It was either like a 10.0 or a 16. It would never get a nice idle. So now I've got some 730cc Aeroflow injectors. I've got it cruising nice, I've got it idling nice, so I've been driving it for a couple of weeks now, and I'm happy with them so far. So it's worth me putting the effort into tuning this thing. So I'm going to do a lot of steady state stuff off camera and try and get transitions and just try and make it a lot nicer and get my fuel table looking a bit more normal than what it is. And then we'll start doing some power runs. I'm going to start low. I'm going to start from wastegate pressure, turn the water methanol off, and just get a good baseline, and then just creep my way up. All right, making good progress. I got all the boring steady state stuff out of the way, made the map a bit smoother and nicer. We're on wastegate at the moment. I'm pretty happy with, I've done a few runs on wastegate, and I'm pretty happy with where it is now, AFR wise. I'll refit the boost controller and we'll start adding some boost. All right, so we're at 13 pounds now. It made 175 kilowatt. Changing to a smaller water meth jet made a good difference, so that can stay in there for now, unless I feel like I need more when the boost is up higher. Up top, the rev range, when it's making 13 pounds of boost, it's making 23 pounds of back pressure. I'll up the boost now. I'll try and aim for, 16, 17 pounds, something like that, and we'll do some more tuning. All right, that was 16 PSI, and that was 183, 184 kilowatt. Right at the top of the rev range, it's making closer to 17 pounds of boost, and it's like 30 pounds of back pressure. So I think time to up the boost again. All right, so that was 18 pounds of boost, and made just under 190 kilowatts. Back pressure's through the roof, which is awesome. Yeah, I'm just going to turn the boost up some more. All right, I think I'm pretty much done for the day. I've done a lot of dyno runs. I've used a lot of fuel. Our final numbers were 225 kilowatt, which is 302 horsepower. It made like 450 newton meters of torque. That was at 24 pounds of boost. And right at the top of the rev range, it was making like 40 pounds of back pressure. So I kind of knew that with this turbo. I've done little tests here and there, and I know this turbo kind of chokes the motor a little bit, but the response is really good, so that's why it's still on here. And AFR is still, once it comes into boost, it kind of just goes fat and does its own thing, and whatever numbers you put in the table doesn't really matter. But important thing today, I've flattened out my fuel table and made it much nicer and smoother, so it should drive a lot better. I've got a bit more homework to do because something's happening in the background that's stopping me from doing what I want to do, but I prefer it to be fat than for it to be lean, especially with no intercooler and stuff. So pretty happy with how today went. It could have been better, but it could have been worse as well. So I'll get this thing unbolted off the dyno, and maybe once I drive home and give it a good thrash, I'll finish this video off. Alright, so I completely forgot to finish this video off, so I'll give you my final thoughts. Car's driving amazing. It's never gone as fast, it's pulling harder, it's cleaner, it's nicer, everything about it is better, and it's real fun to drive. The bad parts, which I didn't really get into much on the day, but when I was on the dyno, I was not able to control the AFR properly. When it came into boost, it would just go rich no matter what I did. I even put zeros in the fuel table and it still went to a 9 something AFR, which is way too rich. I've got a couple theories for it. One of them, my airflow meter, I've got a R35 airflow meter, a card type one that's in a 3-inch pipe. That was maxing out. That was getting to 5.04 volt or whatever the top is. So that might have something to do with it. There might be a table in the background that when the MAF gets flat out, it just dumps a heap of fuel into it. Just gives it a fixed duty cycle, and it's just like a safety thing. So I can put the MAF into a 4-inch pipe, which will give me more resolution, which I might be able to tune this issue out of it. I've got a couple other theories as well, but that's kind of the best one I've got. I've been tempted to put a standalone on it, put a Link ECU or a Holy or something on it, and be able to ditch the MAF altogether, which would be nice, and just run a map sensor. So that's something I'm looking into. But other than that, car's running great. That's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.